What is up, everybody? We are back. Our rookie mock draft. We've already gone through 3 rounds, and we're gonna do round 4. It gets pretty tough when it gets to round 4 of rookie mock drafts. A lot of dart throws, guys that you really don't expect to hit at all. But you never know. There's always going to be those 1 or 2 potentially every year where it's like, wow, I actually hit with my 4th rounder. So you just got to be smart and take guys where you can kind of see the path to a starting role or to a significant fantasy role. Probably not in this coming year, but in 2024 and beyond. So we're just going to get right into it. Before we do, if you could please like this video, subscribe to the channel. I think we're over 150 subscribers, which is awesome. And yeah, we're going to keep pumping out content for you guys. As you can see, I am solo today. No father, no brother, just me. So I'm going to share my screen here with you. And so you can see kind of how the first 3 rounds have gone out. Kind of quickly go through round 1. If you want to see the round 1 video, it's posted on our YouTube channel. You can check it out. We go through and kind of explain each pick, but general consensus between the three of us and for a lot of people is that the first 10 players that have gone here should be the first 10 players in most Superflex mock drafts. Of course, the 2 first-round running backs, the 3 first-round quarterbacks, the 4 first-round wide receivers, and then probably Will Levis should also be in there in that top 10. If you want to switch some things around, you like Addison more than Flowers, or you like Flowers more than Johnston, be my guest. You can switch those around. Always go with what you like the most. And then, the last 2 picks of the first round are a little interesting. I would probably take A-Chain and Kincaid, those 2 guys. My brother Brian took Kendre Miller. I took Kincaid. So that's fine. Again, it's kind of your preference. But I think between these 2 picks and Kendre Miller and Kincaid and the first 3 picks of the second round, those should kind of be the next 5 players going, in my opinion. Kendre Miller, Dalton Kincaid, Devin A-Chain, Jonathan Mingo, Zach Charbonnet. Those 5, after you get the top 10, those are the next 5 that probably should be going, just given where they went to and draft capital and all that. So after that, in the second round, all these guys can kind of be switched up. Marvin Mims, Jaden Reed. If you like Roshan Johnson more than Jaden Reed, then take him at the 205. Once you start getting to that middle of the second round, kind of go for guys that you like a little bit more. Don't rely so much on draft capital. Of course, draft capital still matters. But if there's a guy that you like a little more and he was taken in the 4th round, don't just take a 3rd rounder just because, draft capital. Go with the guy you like. So, all these guys here, you can kind of see a path to them being fantasy relevant either in 2023 or 2024. And then in the 3rd round, again, it's just go with guys that you really like. I mentioned this, Michael Wilson. He's far down the list. I think he's rated 208 on this sleeper rankings right here. He's rated like 208. I really like him. I like the tools. I like this landing spot. He was a 3rd round receiver. I believe he was a 3rd round receiver. So pretty good draft capital. And I just like the tools. So I'm going to reach for him if I'm, only have 1 pick in the 3rd round. Take Bigsby is another guy I like. Take Goodell is another guy I like. So kind of taking guys that I really like at the beginning of this 3rd round. I like to take chances on tight ends and quarterbacks. And you see a couple tight ends go here and a couple quarterbacks go here. 3rd, 4th round, everyone's a dart throw. Everyone's a very slim chance of actually turning into something. So why not do it at a position like a tight end or quarterback where if you do hit, there is so much value. So, Musgrave and Luke Schoon or Schoonmaker, I'm not sure yet. I need to check that. Both of them were 2nd round picks. They go to pretty good spots as well. Take a chance on them in the 3rd round. If you hit and they become a top 5 tight end, your team's going to be looking good because you only use the 3rd round draft pick. Same thing with Hayner. Hayner goes to New Orleans. I just like Hayner overall. I like his game. I think he can have like a Taylor Heineke type of career. And, Heineke's been at times valuable in a super flex. Clayton Tune, I talked about it. I think there's a good chance that, I think there's almost 100% chance that Kyler Murray is not starting, misses at least the first month. I think there's a chance that Kyler Murray misses the entire year. So the Cardinals, all they have is like Colt McCoy and David Blau on the team. Clayton Tune, they could just roll with the young guy and say, let's see what we got with our fifth round pick. If he sucks, well, guess what? The Cardinals get a high draft pick in a stacked quarterback draft class in 2024. If he's good, that means they hit on someone. Might as well see. I think Clayton Tune could be starting a lot next year in 2023, and I think I like his talent. So take chances on these guys, right? And you're going to see that with my first pick here. I'm going to take another chance on a tight end that I really like. On a tight end I really like, and that is Tucker Kraft. Really like Tucker Kraft. He went to Green Bay. To me, just because they took Musgrave in the second round, Kraft in the third round, doesn't mean that it's 100% means Musgrave's going to be the tight end one. To me, it's kind of like, you know what? Let's take two tight ends. One of these guys are going to work out. Yeah, obviously they had a higher grade on Musgrave, but I like Tucker Kraft as well, and he could be the better of the two tight ends. It wouldn't shock me at all. So kind of the same logic here. Why I took Musgrave in the 305, I'm using towards Tucker Kraft. Could be the tight end one for Green Bay, and he could be the second target for Green Bay, which is kind of what you look for with your tight ends. So taking a chance there. Just kind of making sure. Another guy that I really, really like and my scouting process was A.T. Perry. So I'm just kind of giving you guys that I really like, maybe potential sleepers that you could take in the late third or in the fourth round. A.T. Perry, really like the guy. Thought he was a project. Kind of figured he was going to be a project no matter where he went or what team he went to. But I think he has all the skill sets to turn into a complete receiver. He's tall. He's 6'5". He's 206. He has pretty good route running, decent speed. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure he's not a burner. But he has decent. Yeah, he has 4.47 speed. So if you're in the 4.4s, that speed plays no problem. Like A.T. Perry a lot. He goes to the Saints, where right now you got Chris Olave and who else? Michael Thomas. We'll see how many times are we going to fall for that. Rashid Shaheed, I think, is a good player, but I don't think he's going to be like a wide receiver too. A.T. Perry could develop into the wide receiver too for them. So I see the path there. I like A.T. Perry a lot. Again, just kind of giving you guys that I really, really like. Again, just going through, making sure I'm not forgetting anyone. A couple quarterbacks that I don't mind taking here. One of them is DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson. He went to Cleveland, so yeah, you're behind Deshaun Watson, of course, but I like DTR. He's athletic. I like his running ability. If he does get a shot to start in the NFL, he's going to be possibly pretty good fantasy-wise because he's going to run the ball. So I'm going to take a chance there, even though I took Bryce Young in the fourth round. If I hit on another quarterback, in the fourth round, then I'm gold. At the most, you can trade him away, right? You can always trade away your strengths. So that's why I kind of always go for like a best player available type of pick. Another guy I like here in the fourth round is tight end Brenton Strange. I'll take him here. Brenton Strange, he's another second rounder, I believe. Went to Jacksonville. A little bit of a surprise, I would say. I don't think a lot of people had Brenton Strange going in the second round. He went 61st overall to Jacksonville, so they obviously like him. He is a receiving type of tight end prospect, which is intriguing because you got Evan Ingram there for probably one more year. And then it could be Brenton Strange's job, linked with Trevor Lawrence, on a team that, yeah, they have some good options in Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Calvin Ridley, but it's not like there's no way that Brenton Strange is going to be a focal point of the offense. We never know. Calvin Ridley, he hasn't played in a while. Maybe he isn't as good. I don't know. I like Brenton Strange, just seeing what Evan Ingram did last year with Jacksonville. And even in 2021, Trevor Lawrence was using his tight ends quite a bit in like Dan Arnold and O'Shaughnessy. So he obviously likes his tight ends. It could be Brenton Strange here as his number one guy. Um, a few more guys, and honestly, guys, in this fourth round, this is like not necessarily the order that I would always take them. If you want to move these around, if you want to take Brenton Strange with the 401, be my guest. This is just more about showing you guys that maybe you could potentially target in your fourth round. Um, so if you have the 401 and you like Brenton Strange, go ahead and take it. Excuse me there. A few more guys that I like. Um, just double checking. Yeah, a guy like Zach Evans. I'm not. I know a lot of people are really high on this guy. I'm not super high on him, but I do recognize that there's obviously talent there. He was a huge recruit coming out of high school. He's kind of never lived up to it. Um, but he goes in the sixth round, so not wonderful draft capital. However, that Ram situation, no one necessarily has that on lock. I think it's Cam Akers' job, and I think Cam Akers is pretty good, and so I think he can lock it down. But also, we're going into the third year of Cam Akers, um, and he was a second round pick. So you could be like, okay, maybe one more year of Cam Akers. He could get hurt. He could not be the guy. So yeah, I'll take my chance with Zach Evans here. Guy that definitely has talent, but it just hasn't been able to kind of put it all together. Hopefully, he can with um, with McDay and the Rams at a great part there. Another quarterback that I'm probably interested in drafting, again, just to take this chance. You know what? I won't draft a quarterback here. Another player that I really like is Eric Gray is an intriguing prospect going to New York. Again, not wonderful draft capital, but that's where we're at in the fourth round. You're going to get most guys with not a lot of good draft capital. Um, fifth rounder goes to the Giants. I think he's probably like a pass catching back, if I'm being completely honest. Um, but with Saquon only on a franchise tag, we don't know what Saquon's going to be, where he's going to be next year. There's a good chance he's not on the Giants after this year. And then, if Eric Gray, if the team likes what they see in Eric Gray, then he's maybe the next guy up. Or combine him. He could be a pass catching guy, so maybe in a PPR league he's a little more valuable. But take your chance with Eric Gray. He could be second on the depth chart, essentially, behind Saquon Barkley. So I'm fine with taking, second on the depth chart guys here. So probably the last quarterback that I would think about taking, I know Stetson Bennett there. Yeah, I don't mind if you want to take Stetson Bennett, go for it. I'm not huge on him. I think he's probably a backup, but I could see him going just in case. He is in an intriguing situation with the Rams. Jaron Hall is a quarterback that I'm kind of interested in. Jaron Hall out of BYU looks really good when you watch him play. The problem is BYU's system. It's so hard to evaluate guys in that system because it's just not an NFL system. I mean, it made Zach Wilson look amazing at the second overall pick, right? Or third overall pick, whatever he was. It made him look like one of the best quarterbacks in college football. But intriguing spot there. Minnesota takes him. We know the Cousins situation. I think Minnesota is kind of realizing we probably can't win with Cousins. They were looking at quarterbacks potentially to take in the first or second round of this draft. Obviously, they didn't. They didn't take this Jaron Hall until the fifth round. But he goes to the Vikings, and if he's actually good, he could be the starter next year. He could be the starter next year. Kirk Cousins is not guaranteed to be on the team. So I like that. And you know what? I was talking about Stetson Bennett. I do think he actually deserves to be taken in rookie Superflex mock drafts. Stetson Bennett here. I don't mind taking him. Again, super good situation. You're on the Rams. Who knows with Stafford? He could retire after this year. I just don't think Stetson Bennett is going to be an answer as a starter. I think he's like the ideal backup quarterback. But we've been wrong. We're always wrong about quarterbacks. In Superflex, quarterbacks are so valuable. I always like to take my chance with quarterbacks in the fourth round, especially guys that are backups to quarterbacks who we don't really know beyond this year what's going to happen with them. Yeah, Jaron Hall is like that. Stetson Bennett's in that situation. Um, Even kind of Clayton Tune's in that situation. So take your chance with these quarterbacks. It could pay off. Look at like Brock Purdy, uh, Jalen Hurts, who's probably a third round pick in most super flex leagues. These guys go and they hit, then you're looking really really smart. Um, I also do think a guy like Darnell Washington deserves to be taken here. I don't know. Again, I like to use as you can see, especially my fourth round picks, late third and fourth round picks on quarterbacks and tight ends. I mean, starting from the 3-9, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 quarterbacks or tight ends taken out of 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 13 picks. There's a reason for that because if you hit on them, a lot of value. Darnell Washington, interesting prospect. The dude's an athletic freak. He's like built like an offensive lineman, but he can run a 4.6. Super athletic. His 3-cone drill was like insane. I think he was drafted more because the guy's a monster blocker, but he's going to be on the field because of that and for that reason. So there is a path for him to be fantasy relevant. It's probably going to need to catch 9, 10 touchdowns to be fantasy relevant, but maybe a lot of people say, you know what, Georgia didn't really use him as a pass catcher. They have a guy in Brock Bowers, who I think it's Bowers, or is it Powers? It might be Powers. Double checking. Brock Bowers. I was right. Brock Bowers. He's like considered a first round talent at tight end in the 2024 NFL draft. So they just didn't really use Darnell Washington a whole lot as their focal point at the tight end position. They used him more as a blocker. A lot of people say, you know what, he can develop. He has a lot of tools and that he can really, really develop into a solid pass catching tight end. So take a chance on him, right? Take a chance on him. A few more guys here. Again, you're getting into very, very slim pickings. Another guy here, I wasn't a huge fan of his, but I know a lot of people are, so I do respect that a little bit. But Trey Palmer, again, didn't like him so much myself. Let's see, he went in the 6th round, 191st overall. Again, just not a huge fan of him myself, but I know a lot of people are, and I'm going to respect that. I'm not going to always be right. And if a lot of people are high on him, then you know what? I'll take a chance on him here in the 4th round. His speed's going to play. He runs a 4.33, so no matter what, his speed's going to play. He's going to have some kind of role in an NFL offense if he can catch the ball, which I think he can. Trey Palmer was a pretty highly recruited, went to LSU, transferred to Nebraska, was like the focal point of Nebraska's offense this last year. He's 6'1", 190. He's an interesting prospect for sure. Goes to an interesting spot in Tampa Bay because it's like, what is the Buccaneers receiving room out after this year? Are Evans and Godwin still going to be there? I don't know. So it could be Trey Palmer, and if he's good, then you just found yourself a pick, right? These are the guys you should be targeting. Target these athletes. Target these guys going to good position, good spots. Just kind of looking through, making sure I'm not forgetting anyone. Don't think I am. I mean, there's some guys that I kind of liked. I'll take a shot on Charlie Jones here. I think he's basically a Tyler Boyd replacement. So I think he's going to be very capped and limited. We'll see what the Bengals do. I'm not 100% convinced T. Higgins is going to be on this team after 2023. I just don't know if they're going to be able to pay him the money he wants. Jamar Chase the money he wants, and obviously Burrow. You got to pay Burrow and Jefferson. Oh, I did it again. You got to pay Burrow and Chase, 100%. So I just don't know. Charlie Jones, even if Higgins is there, there's some intrigue there. Having the wide receiver 3 on a passing offense like the Bengals, you're going to get some value in him. He's going to put up potentially 600-700 yards and he's going to be valuable in those games where Jamar Chase and or Higgins are not playing. I just think you have yourself a Tyler Boyd replacement here in 2024 and Charlie Jones. Um, I'm not a Keyshawn Butte fan, especially going to New England, so I'm going to pass on that. Tyler Scott, okay, I think he's maybe like, you know what? I'll probably take Tyler Scott here, um, mostly because, again, I think he's a one trick pony, which a lot of these guys are. Um, I think he's a one trick pony, a speedster guy that's going to be used for his speed, his deep threat. But there are examples of guys like that um, panning out and being more than just, that occasional big play, like a T.Y. Hilton type of player, where he was basically like a deep threat, but he was also used in other ways in that. Um, and he led the league in receiving yards one year, T.Y. Hilton, I believe, with 1,500. Um, so could Tyler Scott, to me, that's like his high end, is someone like that. He goes to a team in Chicago. Yeah, they have Mooney. They have Claypool. They have, I'm forgetting someone, and I can't remember. I know they have Komet. Let me just double check. Did the Bears take someone? I feel like I'm forgetting someone on that Bears offense, but there's only, I think, beyond 2024, there's only like one receiver that's guaranteed, to be on that team, and so there could be a huge overhaul. Mooney, DJ Moore, but Mooney could be gone. Claypool could be gone, and so you could be looking at Tyler Scott as the wide receiver too. So there you have it, guys. That's my the fourth round of our rookie mock draft. Gonna also be putting out a single quarterback, maybe a 2-rounder rookie mock draft. And appreciate it, guys. As always, again, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you all